All right, question number 3. What characteristics of your parents' marriage would you like to avoid? I would say the biggest one would be miscommunication. My parents seem to be disjointed, not on the same page. I think I mentioned earlier that my dad had a high school education, my mom had a college education. Not that should be that big of a deal, but when it came to like being able to, despite their education, it was like the lack of being able to like really communicate well and effectively. Like for my dad to be able to say, hey, when you do this, it causes me to feel this way about you. And then my mom to be able to say, when you do this or say this, it causes me to feel or do this way about you. And like, in my future relationship, I would like to be able to go to counseling. Continue to do, already have individual counseling, but to have counseling together, like even if it's just like once a month. And something I saw my parents do toward the end of their marriage, my mom had a counselor, my dad had a counselor, and then they'll have these like joint counseling meetings where he would bring his counselor and she would bring hers. I think that honestly, that probably is one of the most effective forms of counseling, because then that person hasn't, because a lot of times it's good to have that neutral third party. And I've noticed this when you have like, all right, say this is one, I don't think it's a good idea to just have one counselor in marriage counseling, right? Because it's just natural. One of those counselors is going to take sides, or even if they're not, even if they try to be neutral between the couple, one of the people in the couple, one of the partners in the couple, one of the partners in the situation is going to think that that counselor is taking sides. Just natural. So if you have and this might cost some y'all some money, but there are free counselors out there. I'm sure there's people out here that do this, that have like, maybe it's a husband and wife counseling team. It's also good, if you can find a husband, older, wiser husband and wife that you trust to get counseling from. But if you, go the route of a professional therapist, my counselor is the chaplain at the church that I was going to anyway. But it's something about having that advocate there that's a neutral third party, not family, not a mom, not a dad. People that are just a neutral third, for the most part, neutral. It can't be 100% neutral. But anyway, you have your advocate. Your spouse has their advocate. I saw my parents do that toward the end of their marriage. Now they ultimately ended up getting divorced, but that's neither here nor there. But I think, honestly, I thought my parents were going to get a divorce a long time ago. Like early on, when I was like a teenager, my parents would have like these blow-ups like once a year, and I thought they were going to get divorced. Somehow they stayed together. My dad, he used to hear those horror stories about guys at Ford on child support, and my dad was like, nah, not going to be me, buddy. And he didn't want some other guy raising his kids, so he stuck it out. But they just kept sticking it out even after my brother and I left the home. And somehow they were able to stay together. Anyway, made it for 35 years. But so to answer the question, what characteristics of your parents' marriage would you like to avoid? It's poor communication. In my future marriage, I want to be able to like talk about anything. My brother and I, we talk about being able to be naked. Like, no matter what, I can show you my phone. I can show you. There's no topic that is off limits that we can't talk about. I shouldn't feel like I have to hide anything. I should be able to also say things to you and you not immediately cut my pickle off. Or you be able to say stuff to me and me not like shut you down and make you feel like, that I'm going to shut you down and make you feel afraid to say anything. Just clear, open, honest communication. That would be the number one thing that I would avoid: bad communication. And yeah, getting counseling early on and staying like at least once a month, and having an advocate. She have an advocate, I have an advocate. Preferably I have a guy, she has like a woman counselor. And yeah, there you go. Hey, we made it only 5 minutes this time. We're slowly shortening these answers, working on it. Now I only have 998 more questions to go. I'm enjoying this so far. All right, hope you are too. Holla.